Hello, thanks for tuning in. A sense of measure is needed at all times if we're going to address all the problems we're facing on the world stage. A sense of measure. Basically, one must keep their head in all situations when you're addressing all situations, because if you lose your head, you lose the argument. Even if your argument is airtight, if you lose your head, it kind of pollutes everything. It taints the whole picture. And we all prefer people to keep their heads anyway in situations, because they're the people who pull chaotic situations back into alignment. Okay, the people who keep their heads, and that's what maturity is about, to be mature, to keep one's head in all situations, even if that situation comes at you. And it's easier said than done. Obviously, we all lose our head at times. But it's important. Somebody said to me a couple of years ago, the ability of a good drummer is not their ability to keep a band in time when they're playing, but rather when the band goes out of a time, the drummer pulls them back into time. That's what makes a good drummer. He or she understands the band has moved out of time, and they just adjust and move and pull in the band, and they pull them back into time. So that's like the same situation. We can all lose our heads at times, but it's important we pull ourselves back into place so we can take have a sense of measure about things, as I've said. So on that note, on the way to one of the festivals this year, my son and I were driving down to the festival, and he asked me about people who steal, and so I was talking about the reasons people steal and so on. And then at random he just said, "Does anyone steal at the festivals, Dad?" So I explained there's no perfect field, okay? The elite are stealing from us all the time. There's a lot of theft taking place in the world. But even somewhere as beautiful as a festival, and I wouldn't take my son to the festival, and he's been going there since he was a baby. I wouldn't take my son to the festivals if I didn't feel they were safe places. They're extremely safe, loving environments, and I love being there, and I love my son being there. He learns so much. But there's always one or two, as they say. There's always one or two who get too drunk and create a little bit of chaos, and there's always somebody who steals from another. So let's address stealing first. Like short-term gain in relation to long-term gains. Okay, so you steal £100 from somebody, or you steal their camera. Okay, and in that moment, that short-term gain, you seem to be £100 up, or a camera up, or whatever you steal. But in the long term, your character is slowly diminishing. Your family name is slowly being polluted, because when you're eventually caught, and eventually everybody gets caught. If you play dirty, the circle will eventually catch you out. Eventually you get caught, and then you're left there lying on your pillow going, "Oh my God, who am I? My character has so many shadows in it. My family are ashamed of me. I'm ashamed of myself." Unless you're a psychopath, they show no remorse, no guilt whatsoever. That's another story. But the ordinary everyday Joe and Josephine, okay, what you feel at 20 will be different at 40, and we all look back with regrets. And so, what you steal today will steal from you in the long run. It'll steal your character away from you. So anyway, my son said, I explained, yes, there's always one or two. And then he said, "Do you know anyone, Dad, at the festival who steals?" Funnily enough, I said, "I have my eye on somebody at the moment." Immediately he said, "Tell me who they are." And I said, "No, I won't tell you." So he went, please tell me. I won't tell anybody." I said, no, I won't tell you, because if I tell you, I am potentially stealing something from that person, which is way bigger than stealing something material. I'm potentially damaging their reputation. I'm stealing from their spirit, their essence, okay? And I'm spreading rumors, and words, gossip can be very damaging to people. That's why one must remain measured in all situations presented. Now, I have reason to believe that this person, might be on the game. There's behavior patterns, and I'm watching. But even these behavior patterns, that does not mean that this person has stolen from us. But like I said, I'm a very measured person. I haven't got my eye on everybody else at our circle. They're all beautiful, noble beings. And, I hold them all up. But every now and again, we all have an intuition about a particular person. But regardless of that intuition, I have no right to go spreading rumors until I know for sure. Because if I'm wrong, as I said, then I steal something from that person, and then I diminish. So gossip. I mean, gossip is what burnt the witches back in the day. Okay, the church, what brought them the witches? Gossip. Gossip is a very, very fucking evil tool. It carries spells. And, I often hear people saying, you can't trust him, you can't trust her, they look dodgy, they creep me out, I'm a bit, that's dirty. That doesn't mean anything. I was telling all this to my son. That is not the way to talk about people. Like I said, it doesn't mean you can't, cast your eye over certain people for certain reasons and keep an eye on them, because that's prudent, okay? It would be stupid not to, and for good reason. But like I said, I have to remain measured at all times, or else I'll damage this person and who they are, and no one is deserving of that. And people spread gossip all the fucking time, okay? It's dirty language, okay? It's dirty, filthy fucking language. The idea you would spread a rumor about somebody that you only half know to be true. Okay. Now, if it turns out I taught my son, if it turns out that this person is stealing, well, then the group will remove this person. We'll ask that person, him or her, to leave the circle, and so on. And like, their character is going to be cut up over it. Okay. They'll slowly diminish as they walk away from the circle, and they'll feel the pain of the long-term gain. Okay, which overrides the short-term gain every time. So yes, anyway, a sense of measure is needed in all situations, because we have many problems ahead of us, and we have group problems. We have family problems and group problems and societal problems. We have global problems, and it's easy to scare people. It's easy to say, I don't like that person, therefore they're a monster. I don't like that person, therefore they're this. But that just helps nobody. Okay, so anyway, if you remain measured, then you're part of the solution. You really are. If you want to fix the world, then, keep it together upstairs. Peace and love and logic. Thanks for tuning in.